Now I want to recognize the chairman of the Energy Subcommittee, Mr. Markey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, very much. And first I want to thank Secretary LaHood, Secretary Chu, and Administrator Jackson for being with us here today. The presence of this all-star lineup is a testament to the priority that the Obama administration places on developing sound energy legislation and fighting global warming. Today, Earth Day 2009, we begin the process of writing history as we work to pass new energy legislation that will revitalize our economy, enhance our energy security, create millions of new jobs, and end the global warming crisis. We arrive at this crucial moment with much at stake and not a moment to spare. Winston Churchill once said, "Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen." In the days ahead, we will need to have both the courage to speak out and the courage to sit down and listen. If we do that, we can pass legislation that will create millions of new jobs and reduce our dependence on foreign oil, all in a way that meets our environmental and economic needs. We have reached a crossroads where inaction is simply not an option. Our economy cannot continue to depend heavily on foreign oil. Our energy system cannot continue to be highly inefficient. We cannot continue energy policies that look to last century's energy sources while other nations race ahead to take the lead in developing and marketing clean energy technologies and green jobs. Germany's second largest export after cars is wind turbines. China is becoming the leader in renewable energy. Japan and Korea are leapfrogging America in advanced vehicle technology. Nor can we pretend that business as usual has shielded us from harmful negative changes in our economy or from increases in energy prices. It has not. Attempts to seek refuge in the status quo have left us further behind in the ongoing global economic and energy race. Those who predict our bill will result in soaring energy costs fall into a long line of doomsayers who have eventually been proven wrong. Environmental statutes have saved lives, and smart energy policies have saved money, and done so at a fraction of the high cost projected by industry. Nor will global warming or oil-driven foreign regimes wait for us to act. Just last Friday, Administrator Jackson issued her proposed endangerment finding stating that climate change is an enormous problem and, quote, "the greenhouse gases that are responsible for it endanger public health and welfare." Among the impacts that flow from global warming are increased drought, more frequent and intense heat waves and wildfires, and harm to water resources, agriculture, wildlife, and ecosystems. And EPA also emphasized that global warming will have disproportionate impacts on the very poor, the very young, the elderly, those already in poor health, and those living alone or dependent on few resources. Left unabated, global warming and our dependence on oil will jeopardize America's national security and increase our economic risk. Whether it is in the hundreds of billions we send every year to unfriendly regimes, or the hundreds of millions globally who could be without drinking water from increased drought, we cannot wish away these problems. Chairman Waxman and I have developed our discussion draft with all of these factors in mind. In the discussion draft and going forward, Chairman Waxman and I will strive to get reductions in global warming pollution that meet science-based targets by using cost-saving energy efficiency and clean energy solutions. We will continue to develop strategies to help keep costs low, from the use of offsets to banking and borrowing, and through the use of a strategic reserve of allowances that can limit any costs that are higher than expected. We will continue to fund clean energy solutions that will allow new American companies to prosper, creating clean energy jobs that can't be shipped overseas. And we will continue to provide opportunities and incentives for energy efficiency to save families money. We will continue to ensure that we assist and benefit consumers, especially low-income consumers. We will ensure that our most internationally competitive industries are not left exposed to foreign inaction. And we will hold ourselves to high standards, and we will hold the international community to high standards. Nor are we finished improving this legislation. As we proceed through these hearings, we will hear dozens of other witnesses, some with positive comments and some with suggestions for improvements. We welcome these comments, and we look forward to working with all the members of this committee to develop legislation that will create a new clean energy economy free of the threat of dangerous global warming and free of our dependence on foreign energy sources. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Markey.